Hello everyone, and welcome to an early movie review. So I was lucky enough to be invited to a Top Gun Maverick early screening down in London. I was invited by Paramount and I have been very excited to see this film. I have heard great reviews about it, so I went in with very high expectations, and all of my expectations were surpassed. I think this movie was better than the original, and I'm going to get into why in just a second. But before that, a little bit of background. I'm sure you know this already, but Top Gun Maverick is a sequel to the 1986 Top Gun, and in this sequel, Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick, Tom Cruise's character, has to go back to Top Gun, but this time to be an instructor 36 years later. This movie was so much better than anyone thought it could be. First of all, Tom Cruise does not look 59. He looks 35 years old at the most. He looks great in this movie. It was a great performance from Tom Cruise, aka Mr. Hollywood. He done all his own stunts, flew the planes himself. I have so much respect for Tom Cruise. Top Gun Maverick had me rooting for the heroes, rooting for the main characters the whole time. I genuinely wanted them to succeed. The film had very strong family bonds throughout the whole movie. One of the biggest examples being Tom Cruise's Maverick instructing Goose's son, played by Miles Teller, who by the way was a standout performance. He was so perfect as Goose's son. We also had Jennifer Connelly, who is just a goddess in general. She was a great love interest, and her whole aspect of the story really gave me like 80s nostalgia love interest vibes. It was perfect. Don't get me wrong, I loved the original Top Gun. I'm a very big fan of the original Top Gun. It is a classic and I regard it very highly in the whole movie world. But I liked this movie more. It was so much more enjoyable. I came out of this movie with one thought in my head, and that was, get me in an F-18. I want to fly. I want to feel what he felt in that movie. Top Gun Maverick kept me on the edge of my seat from the start of the movie all the way to the end. I spent, and I am not exaggerating, over 80% of this movie with goosebumps all over my whole body. I laughed at parts. I cried at parts. I teared up so many times. This movie is so much more emotional than I ever thought it could be. We also had John Hamm in the cast, who played an excellent character. I really liked his character. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this movie is just, Tom Cruise is that guy. He just gives out consistent, amazing performances in amazing action movies. And you would not think that he's 60 years old. I cannot get over this in my head. 60 years old pulling stunts like that. He is just the epitome of a great actor. He is an actor, a man amongst boys in the acting community. I love him so much. The practical flying was insane because it wasn't only Tom Cruise who flew the airplanes himself, it was the whole cast. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong on that, so maybe fact check that, but from what I've heard, most of the actors, if not all of them, flew themselves. This movie was obviously based on nostalgia from the original Top Gun, as most continuations of the 80s, 70s, 90s movies these days are. However, this one done it to perfection, perfectly. This movie was the perfect balance of nostalgia and callbacks to the original, but with a brand new story, brand new characters that molded together to make a perfect movie. I literally cannot find a flaw with this film. I saw it early about 4 or 5 days ago, and I am booked already tomorrow to go back and watch it again because I have to see this film again. I think this is really going to be a sleeper pick for movie of the summer. A lot was given away in the promotional videos, the trailers, the TV spots, etc. But this movie still kept me guessing all the way to the end. I had no idea what the fate of the characters were, what was going to happen at the end, where the story was going. It was such a great movie till the very last second. Overall, my experience watching this film was just, I cannot rave about it enough. I really can't wait to go and see this movie again. I'm genuinely excited to watch it again. I would give the movie a 9.5 out of 10, and I would give the experience watching it a 10 out of 10, just for the goosebumps, the emotions it made me feel, everything all together just made it such a great time at the movies. I hope you enjoyed my short little review of it. If you take anything away from this, it is go and watch Top Gun Maverick because you will not regret it. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Boom.